All right, time for another episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies. My name is Damien, and tonight we are looking at Season 2, Episode 3 of Tales from the Crypt. It's called Cutting Cards. And as usual, this episode is brought to you by Cool Dude Inc. Go click the link below. Go check out some shirts and make yourself look good. Next, we'll cue up the Whiskey Bats, who you can find on Spotify. Let's go! Tonight is a tale of two high rollers. Reno walks into a casino in Vegas. Actually, I'm not sure if he's in Vegas or not. I assumed he was. I thought he was. But they say something later in the episode. You know, like if you missed something that happened a minute ago, then it's like, oh, I'll go back and look. But if it's like been 20 minutes, you're like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. And I know this episode particularly is only 20 minutes long, but I didn't go back. I'm sorry. Reno is in the casino. Reno is played by Bishop from Alien, and I don't remember his real name. It's it's like Hans Kleidenfeld or something like that. And once inside, all he hears is the name of his nemesis, Sam Forney. And Sam's in the back. He's the only one in the back at the no limit table. Reno stops by the bar to grab a beer, and the bartender is the doctor from the last episode. It'd be funny if he was playing the same character. He's like, not only do I switch faces, but I can make a mean Bloody Mary too. Reno gets his drink and heads to the back where Sam Forney is sitting. And Sam Forney's played by the dude from Roadhouse. He's got that look where he makes a good bad guy or good guy. Although I think the first few times I watched Roadhouse, I was thinking he was a bad guy. He looks more like a bad guy than a good guy. And he has looked old way longer than he's looked young. I was looking at pictures of him, and it's like, he only got to be young for like 30 years, and the rest of that, after that, he's just been an old motherfucker for like the last 50 years. And these two fucking hate each other. And they're both competitive. And they've gambled against each other plenty of times. And neither one's better. It's like sometimes Sam wins, sometimes Reno wins. They've met their match in each other. And sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, you know what? We're 50-50. Sometimes you gotta deal with it. But that's hard when you hate the other person. We're getting ready to roll some dice. But Sam knows Reno's broke. So he ups the ante and says, hey, because you don't got any money. Sam likes to be a dick to Reno. Reno likes to be a dick to Sam too. But because they hate each other. But he's like, hey man, you're broke. I know you don't have any money. Because Reno's like, I got $100. Like, what are we going to do with that? He's like, how about we play Loser Leaves Town? So he's like, all right. So they roll the dice. They both get boxcars. And Reno's like, you know what? Fuck this. How about we go out in the parking lot and play some Russian roulette? And Sam's like, all right, I got a gun in my glove box. Which is funny because Reno didn't know that he had a gun. So, I mean, was he just puffing his chest out and he's like, oh shit, you have a gun? Now I got to go along with this. And at the same time, Sam didn't have to mention that gun. They could have just been like, well, we can't play Russian roulette because we don't have a gun. But like, these guys hate each other that much where he's like, one of us is going to die tonight. It's not Loser Leaves Town anymore. It's fucking one of us is going to die. And after 2 turns apiece, there's only 1 bullet left. And it's Reno's turn. But Reno ain't no punk bitch. And he puts the gun to his head. He pulls the trigger. It's a dud. He immediately assumes that Sam knew there was a dud in there and that he wouldn't go through with it. But Sam's like, what the? It's old ammo. And I let you spin the chamber. You could have found that out a long time ago. Like, I didn't know there was anything wrong with it. And they're off to their next challenge. Chop poker. And I don't know if this is a real thing or not. It's just regular poker, but the loser loses a finger. Yes, the winner gets to cut the loser's finger off with the butcher knife. Sam loses first, and when he gets his finger cut off, he makes the most bitch-ass sound I've heard since Slaughter High. Brad knows what I'm talking about. In the next hand, Sam loses again, which means another finger. And the noise he makes is even bitch-asser. But then Reno loses the next hand. He's like, okay, all right, wait. You don't need to cut off my finger. How about I'll give you one of your fingers back and we call it good. Sam doesn't care about his fingers anymore. He wants revenge. He's like, no, give me your hand. And he chops off Reno's index finger. Then we change scenes to a hospital where both men are sitting. They got no arms and no legs, and they're playing checkers. They're moving the checkers with their noses. That's not really a plot twist. There's also no boobage. There's just a couple of assholes trying to outdo each other. Hey, newsflash, someday you're going to meet your match. I know I already said this, but yeah, it sucks worse when you hate the person, but it happens. And this episode doesn't really hold up for me because I saw this when I was a kid, and I liked this episode. And maybe it was just because it was gross, or maybe it was like this peek behind the curtain of being an adult, where it's like when you're grown up, you're gonna have situations in your life like this. A lot of 80s and 90s TV like led me to believe that adult life was going to be way more exciting and dangerous than it's actually turned out to be. And that's a wrap. Keep watching Tales from the Crypt. I got links below that you can click on to go watch every episode. And keep on coming over and hanging out with me. Oh, and go watch my Jason X video that I put out on Friday the 13th if you haven't already. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.